Well, now that we're a few months out from your surgery, how did it go for you? How do you feel about the results?
I know for me, I'm extremely pleased. The recovery time was not as long as I was expecting. I was able to get back to exercising within 2 weeks. I went over the muscle, and surprisingly, it really doesn't affect my movements, my exercises, and I look a lot better in my clothing because of my short hair as well. It gives me a much more feminine look with carrying as much muscle as I do.
Great. Now you guys went below the muscle. Has it affected your workouts or the way you've been able to exercise anyway?
Well, I know I'm taking your advice and not doing any type of chest exercises because I want to make sure I maintain my shape. But my surgery went really well. I had surgery on a Monday, and on Friday I was on a plane going home, flying home. So I feel like it was really successful for me. And same thing, 2 weeks later, I was back in the gym doing some light exercises.
For me, it was, I have just started incorporating chest back in because I'm about 6 months post-surgery now. And I might do some light flies, but just really light upper chest. But as far as any other exercises go, it's been great. I haven't had any problems, no trouble at all, and I love my results. I am tall and lean, and it just gives me more shape. It makes me look more full in the muscle in the upper body, and yeah, it's been fantastic.
Now that you're several months out, is there anything that you would have done differently?
For me, no. I chose to go over the muscle. The recovery time was less, and I still feel like they look very natural. Everyone at the surgery center was amazingly kind, very, very helpful. I really wouldn't have changed a thing. So
I would echo that. Your staff is fantastic. The nurses were wonderful, very kind and very caring, and so that was really important for me, and they just made me feel really comfortable. And for me, I wanted to have a balanced physique, so I didn't want it to be really obvious when I went back to work that I had surgery, and I did it for competition. So I just started dieting down, so the results will show themselves in another 12 weeks, and then I'll see if I made a really good choice. But for now, off season, which I'm usually off season, I feel like I look really balanced and very feminine, so I'm really happy with my size.
I also went under the muscle, and I will have to say the same thing. Everybody at the clinic was great. Everybody was really caring. I was one of those people that went through a bit of a downtime after surgery. It didn't last very long, and everybody was supportive. It's okay, everything's going to be fine, and I love it now. My size, I chose high profile. And it was from the ranges, I went with the largest size that you recommended for high profile for me, and I still feel like I am very proportionate, and it's not overdone and too big for me. So yeah, I love it. It's great.
I would agree with that. I think the choices that you gave us, I also went on the higher end. I went over the muscle medium profile, and I went on the higher end, and I don't feel like they're too big, even at different weights, because my weight has fluctuated. I compete here in the next few weeks. My weight has fluctuated. So at the off season as well as the in season, I still feel like it matches my body type very, very well.
I think it's important for women to know that even though it's our final decision for the size, that you walk us through the different options and allow us to try on our different options so we can come to some sort of decision, because when you've never had a surgery like this before, you second guess yourself, you have doubts, and your staff is very supportive in letting us, change our mind, or if we have questions, and help us to come to some kind of good decision about the size that we want to have.
Perfect. Now, you've already competed, is that right?
Yes.
Did it affect the way that you felt in the competition? Did it give you a little bit more confidence? Tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Again, I think with my short hair, or really women that carry a lot of muscle, we, of course, come off a little bit more masculine. So I definitely felt sexier. more confident, as well as, again, the size went very well with being a little bit heavier as well as being very, very lean. And the comments that I got, people couldn't exactly pinpoint, that I'd had breast augmentation, but they saw a more balanced physique. I got a lot of comments that this was the best my physique has ever looked. So.
Now, I know as you start to get prepared for your competitions, you need to diet down and lose some weight. Did that change the shape of your breasts or the size of your breasts? What did you notice with that?
Not really. I mean, of course, you do get leaner in this area, but unless you're naked or obviously in clothing, no, it didn't. Again, it didn't really affect it much. They still looked very natural, especially for going over the muscle. I was extremely pleased.
As you talk to your friends that are getting ready for competitions, is this something that you would recommend to them?
Absolutely. It's one of the things that's really important in our sport is a balanced physique. And anything that you can do, as long as you can afford to do it, we try to do it to achieve really perfection is what we're trying to achieve. And there's a lot of girls in this industry that have had breast augmentation, so it's a wide market there, but it's the choice of who to go to really in our sport, and everybody's looking for the best surgeon and someone that they trust and someone who understands our needs as competitors and going under the muscle and being careful about the muscle that we have built. So it's really important for them to go to a surgeon that understands our sport and understands our physiques.
I would think too, from just a fitness level of people who are fit who are not necessarily going to compete, there's still, when you're running and doing any kind of training, get lean enough that you tend to lose, or at least I tend to lose my breast tissue. So now, even in the off season, I feel a lot more confident in the clothes that I'm wearing, as far as, and I still feel fit. I don't feel like I don't look as fit as I was because now I have a chest. Now I look fit and I have a chest, which is a good thing. So I would absolutely recommend it as well.
So tell me, the ladies that went underneath the muscle, how has it changed your workouts? I know there are certain things that I ask you not to do, but has it really affected the way you feel about your workouts or how you do them or the effectiveness of them?
When I first got back to lifting, and that was about 2.5 weeks after my surgery, I started to lift some legs and then eventually went into lifting some back. When I first got back, I felt a little pull, just with the scar tissue where that was probably when I was doing any kind of lat pull down, but that went away really fast. And now I feel like I don't feel compromised at all in my movements.
I would agree. You first feel it when you're doing like shoulder exercises or any kind of back or pulling exercises. You feel the movement of the chest and you're like, oh, I didn't realize I used that much chest muscle for these different exercises. But as far as the amount of weight that I lift, I'm back to lifting the same amount of weight and the same number of reps and doing my cardio. So that's a fear that I think we all, a concern, not necessarily a fear, but a concern that we all had that we wouldn't be able to work out at the same level that we were before, but that's not the case.
My form is actually better now, especially for back, because I can feel if I transfer my work into my chest more than I could feel it before. If I'm doing a lat pull, my shoulders roll forward, I'm going to feel it more in my chest, whereas now my chest is up and I stay in my back.
So you're just more aware of the muscles?
I'm more aware.
And it's really motivating when guys are looking at you in the gym more and they can't figure, they're like, and you're like, oh, they're looking, I'm going to lift heavier.
Well, those of you that have had your postoperative pictures, how did it change the way that you like to do the poses, and did you feel more confident in front of the camera?
I know for me, doing the post-op pictures and just since the surgery, it feels very natural. Like they feel like mine. I'm only I don't know how many months out as well, and they feel very, very natural to me. So when I took the photos, I said, well, can we see that much of a difference, really? Was I that? And then I was floored when I looked at my before pictures and my sad little chest. And so I had sort of forgotten. I've gotten so used to, these are just mine now, you know. I've gotten so comfortable and used to them that it was odd to see those pictures because it doesn't even feel like me anymore. This is me.
Yeah, I would echo that. You forget that they're there because they do become a part of you, and that was what I was hoping I would feel after I had a surgery. I don't want to wake up every day thinking, oh, I've got these 2 things here, you know. I want to just feel like I'm just a normal person but fuller. And when I looked at my before pictures and then I saw my after pictures, it's like, wow, I look fuller. And that's just all I wanted was to maintain my shape and my size and be fuller. So I was really happy with the results.
And that was a big fear of mine. I don't even like fake nails. So I was concerned that I was going to get something foreign, you know, in my body. And I'm a yoga instructor. And so I was, you know, how would it affect me? Would I feel this foreign sort of object in my body? And I don't feel that at all. So ever since surgery, it's just very much a part of me.